Imagine this. You're sitting on a plane, ready for takeoff, and you strike up a conversation with the person next to you. You're both heading to the same destination, on the same flight, in the same class. But then, you discover something shocking. While you snagged your ticket for a steal, your neighbor paid double or even triple for theirs. How is that even possible? It almost feels unfair, doesn't it? But this scenario is more common than you might think, and it's all thanks to the mysterious world of airline pricing. Airline ticket prices are in constant motion, changing minute by minute, sometimes even second by second. You might check a flight in the morning and see one price, only to return in the afternoon and find it's jumped or dropped by hundreds of dollars. It's enough to make anyone's head spin. But why does this happen? Is there a secret algorithm at play, or is it just random chance? The truth is, airlines use incredibly complex systems to set their prices, and they're always trying to maximize their profits while filling every seat. For travelers, this can be incredibly frustrating. You might spend hours searching for the best deal, only to feel like you're playing a losing game. Maybe you've even experienced that sinking feeling when you finally book a ticket, only to see the price drop the next day. Or perhaps you've hesitated for just a moment, and the fare you wanted vanishes before your eyes. It's no wonder so many people feel confused and even a little bit cheated by the whole process. But here's the good news. You don't have to be at the mercy of these mysterious price changes. Over the years, I've uncovered some of the best-kept secrets in the travel industry, insider knowledge that airlines would rather you didn't know. These are the tips and tricks that can help you beat the system and find those elusive cheap flights, no matter where you want to go. I've spent years traveling the globe on a shoestring budget, hopping from continent to continent, and learning from every booking, both the wins and the mistakes. Along the way, I've picked up a treasure trove of strategies for outsmarting the airlines. From knowing the best days and times to book, to using special tools and websites, to understanding how airlines think and operate, I've tested it all. And now I'm excited to share these insights with you, so you can travel farther, more often, and for a fraction of the price. Did you know that something as simple as clearing your browser cookies or searching for flights in incognito mode can sometimes help you find lower fares? Or that booking flights on certain days of the week can make a surprising difference in price? There are even hidden city ticketing tricks and error fares that can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. These aren't just rumors. They're real strategies that frequent travelers use all the time. I've personally tested these methods, and I've seen the results firsthand. I've scored flights across continents for less than the price of a nice dinner, and I've helped friends and family do the same. The best part? You don't need to be a travel expert or spend hours every day searching for deals. With a few simple habits and a little bit of know-how, you can start saving big on your very next trip. Imagine what you could do with all the money you save. Maybe take an extra trip each year, upgrade your accommodations, or simply enjoy more experiences at your destination. Affordable travel isn't just a dream. It's a reality for those who know how to play the game. And the best part is, anyone can learn these tricks, no matter your budget or experience level. So get ready to buckle up and take some notes, because I'm about to walk you through everything you need to know to become a master at finding affordable flights. Whether you're planning a quick weekend getaway or a round-the-world adventure, these tips will help you travel smarter and more often. Trust me, once you understand how the system works, you'll unlock a whole new world of travel possibilities. You'll be able to explore more destinations, visit friends and family more often, and make memories that last a lifetime, all without breaking the bank. So let's dive in and unravel the great airline price mystery together. We've all been there. You're standing in a crowded airport, or maybe you're at home dreaming about your next adventure. The anticipation is real. You can almost feel the sand between your toes or the excitement of exploring a new city. But before you can get to the fun part, there's one major hurdle: finding a flight that doesn't break the bank or your spirit. You're excited about your next trip, but then you start searching for flights and the excitement quickly turns into stress. The process can feel endless, page after page of options, each one more confusing than the last. You try different dates, different airports, even different devices, hoping for a miracle deal to pop up. But instead, you're met with a dizzying array of choices, and none of them seem quite right. Prices seem to jump up and down like a roller coaster. One minute the flight is $300, the next it's $500. What gives? It's almost as if the airlines are playing a game with you, changing the rules every time you think you've figured them out. You might even start to wonder if your computer is being watched, or if there's some secret trick you're missing. The truth is, flight prices are constantly in motion, shifting based on demand, time of day, and even your own browsing habits. And then there are the hidden fees. You think you've finally found a good deal, but then you get to the checkout and bam! Suddenly, the price you saw at first is nowhere to be found. Taxes, surcharges, and mysterious service fees appear out of nowhere, inflating the total cost. It's like a magic trick, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they're pulling money out of your wallet. Baggage fees, seat selection fees, and who knows what else appear out of thin air. Want to bring a carry-on? That'll cost extra. Prefer a window seat? Get ready to pay up. Even the simple act of checking in can come with a price tag. It's enough to make you feel like you need a degree in airline economics just to get from point A to point B. It's enough to make anyone want to give up and stay home. The dream of a relaxing getaway or an exciting adventure can quickly fade when faced with the reality of complicated booking systems and ever-increasing costs. You might start to wonder if it's even worth the hassle, or if you should just put your travel plans on hold until things get simpler. But don't despair. There's a method to this madness. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms and pricing strategies to maximize their profits. But by understanding how these systems work, you can level the playing field. With a little knowledge and the right approach, you can outsmart the system, find the best deals, and turn the frustration of flight hunting into the thrill of scoring a bargain. So let's dive in and discover how you can make your next flight search a whole lot easier, and maybe even a little bit fun. The good news is that knowledge is power. Once you know what you're up against, you can start using it to your advantage. The first step is accepting that airline pricing isn't random. Airlines employ complex strategies to fill seats and maximize revenue. Think of it like a game of chess. Your move is to predict the airline's next step. They want to sell every seat at the highest possible price, but you want the best deal possible. By learning a few tricks, you can outsmart their system and come out on top. One of the biggest secrets airlines don't want you to know is that they use something called fare prediction systems. These systems use historical data and algorithms to predict how many people will book a flight at a certain price and at a certain time. This means that the price you see today might not be the same price tomorrow or even an hour from now. The key is to understand how far in advance airlines typically release their cheapest fares. So, have you ever heard of hidden city ticketing? It's one of those travel hacks that's whispered about in online forums and among frequent flyers, but rarely discussed out in the open. It's a clever, if somewhat risky, way that some travelers use to save money on airfare, especially when ticket prices seem sky high and direct flights are out of budget. But what exactly is it and how does it work? Hidden city ticketing is definitely a controversial but potentially money-saving strategy where you book a flight with a layover, but you don't actually plan to take the entire journey. Instead, you get off at the layover city, which is your real destination, and skip the final leg of the trip. It's a loophole in the airline pricing system that some travelers have exploited for years. The idea is pretty simple. Airlines sometimes price flights with layovers lower than direct flights to the same layover city. So, you book a ticket to a farther destination, but your actual plan is to disembark at the layover stop. For example, let's say you want to go to Chicago, but you notice that a flight from New York to Los Angeles with a layover in Chicago is actually cheaper than a direct flight to Chicago. This happens because airlines use complex algorithms to set prices. And sometimes, due to demand, competition, or route popularity, a longer flight with a stopover can cost less than a shorter direct route. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's a quirk of the airline industry that savvy travelers have learned to spot. So, you're searching for flights from New York City to Chicago, and the prices are just too high. But then you notice that a flight from New York City to Los Angeles with a layover in Chicago is significantly cheaper. It almost feels like you found a secret passage through the system. You compare the fares, double-check the layover times, and realize that if you book the NYC to LA flight, you can simply get off the plane in Chicago and skip the last leg to Los Angeles. The savings can sometimes be substantial, especially on popular routes or during peak travel seasons. So, you go ahead and book the flight to Los Angeles, knowing full well that you have no intention of ever seeing the West Coast on this trip. You get your confirmation email, check your itinerary, and start planning your stay in Chicago. On the day of your flight, you board the plane, just like any other passenger. When you land in Chicago for your layover, you simply gather your things and exit the airport, blending in with the crowd of travelers heading to baggage claim or connecting flights. You leave your seat behind, and the airline assumes you just missed your connecting flight. But here's the catch. You can't check any bags because checked luggage will be sent to the final destination on your ticket. So you have to travel light, with only carry-on bags. However, just a heads up, this tactic does come with some risks. Airlines are well aware of this loophole and they don't like it. In fact, most airlines have strict policies against hidden city ticketing, and if they catch you doing it, there could be consequences. For example, your frequent flyer account could be suspended, you might lose your miles, or you could even be banned from booking with that airline in the future. In some cases, airlines have even pursued legal action or demanded reimbursement for the fare difference. Airlines really frown upon it, and their staff are trained to spot suspicious booking patterns. If you make a habit of this, you might find yourself flagged in their system or questioned at the airport. Plus, there's always the risk of your travel plans being disrupted. If your flight gets rerouted or if the airline changes your layover city at the last minute, you could end up stranded or forced to buy a last-minute ticket. And remember, you can't check bags, so you have to be comfortable traveling light. So, while hidden city ticketing can save you money, it's not without its pitfalls. Always weigh the risks before you try this travel hack. One of the most common questions I get is, when is the best time to book a flight? And honestly, while there's no magic formula, there are definitely some optimal booking windows that can really increase your chances of snagging a deal. So generally, booking flights for domestic travel about 1 to 3 months in advance, and for international travel, 2 to 8 months ahead can help you secure some pretty competitive prices. Oh, and here's a little extra tip: flying on weekdays, especially Tuesdays and Wednesdays, is often cheaper than flying on weekends. Here's a secret they really don't want you to know. Your browsing history is not private. Airlines and travel websites are actually tracking your searches using cookies. They know when you've been searching for specific dates and destinations. This information lets them manipulate prices, and yeah, they might even show you higher fares if they know you're eager to travel. But don't worry, you can totally outsmart them. There are several ways to prevent airlines from tracking your every move. One of the easiest methods is to browse in incognito mode or use a private browsing window. This way, websites can't store your browsing history and cookies. Another solid option is to use a VPN or virtual private network. VPNs basically mask your IP address, making it look like you're browsing from a different location. Congratulations! You're now armed with some of the best-kept secrets of the airline industry. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to finding affordable flights. But hey, the learning doesn't stop here. The world of travel hacking is always evolving. Share your own tips and tricks with fellow travelers, and honestly, you'll be surprised at the ingenious methods people have discovered. Happy travels!